give me a nod if you can see that, please. Excellent. Lovely stuff. Well, obviously, Yorkshire Cricket College Open evening. We're just basically, first of all, we're going to show you a quick video that really encapsulates the college, gives you a little sort of 2-3 minute taste of what our students have experienced, and hear from some of the coaches and the tutors and me.
So I think the college offers our students a number of different options once they've joined us. Obviously, if you're interested in cricket, then it's going to be a great place to come and learn. They're going to receive some really, really top-class coaching from our coaches. I think the environment is set in. Obviously, we're here at Emerald Headingley Stadium, which is in itself quite an inspirational place to learn. Facilities are amazing. The work experience opportunities are really good. So it's really vital to us that we can offer first-class cricket coaching and first-class education.
Closest thing you can get to professional cricket in regards to the training. We can't ask for much more really. We've got everything we need, bowling machines, great netting facilities, video analysis, whatever we need to do our job as coaches, we've got it there. So, and the lads have got full access to it as well.
I think the facilities themselves and the coaching that we get is unreal. If it was at any old school or any old college, you wouldn't be the same motivation as you get walking through the kitchen Headingley every day. It does give you that extra boost to want to do well.
When you're with SCL, it's a sporting-based company, and they have these links with I mean, we're talking about Yorkshire cricket here. Having that combination of sport and education, it really helps with the teaching, because you can say to them, look, you can see this in action right in front of you, training every day.
We come into lessons some days and you can see the pros study better played in here, so it shows us what we can become if we keep doing what we're doing. You get the best of both worlds. You get cricket, which is obviously what you want to do, and then you get your educational side.
It's a really well put together programme, and we're lucky enough here that we can tailor their education around cricket specifically. So by trying to apply cricket as much as possible to their course, it keeps them much more engaged as if we were going to use sports that they aren't interested in.
Yeah, I'd definitely recommend it, especially if they're inspiring cricket, as it brings the game massively. And even anyone that's interested in sport, the theory side behind it, great as well.
Cool. So that was just a little overview of our college. Some students who have actually graduated now, and some of the advantages and the benefits that they see that our college offers. So yeah, just obviously a quick summary of what we're going to talk about this evening. So I'll hand over to John now, who's going to take you through the first part of this presentation.
Okay, cheers, Nick. First of all, welcome to obviously the presentation. Myself and Bex will be in charge of the education side of things moving forward. Just a quick background really about how we work as an organisation as Yorkshire Cricket College. So myself and Bex are currently part of SCL. Obviously pro coach we have Brycey, and then we have Nick who represents the foundation. Okay, we work together on a weekly and daily basis to make sure that the college experience is the best for you, and to make sure that we have that successful partnership to enable you to move forward in your sporting career. Okay, next slide for us, Nick. Cheers. Okay, so the quick introduction really of who SCL are. Okay, so we're a private training provider. We specialise in sports. All our teachers are qualified with degrees and qualified teaching qualifications, as well as assessors qualifications. We are specialists in delivering education programmes to professional clubs. So as you can see from the current slide, there are many clubs across the whole country that we work with, and Yorkshire Cricket College is seen as the flagship in terms of the North region. Arguably one of the best in the whole country as well. So you've got a fantastic opportunity here now to obviously come and do education with ourselves, as well as improve yourself as cricketers and to improve your cricketing skills down the line. Next slide, please, Nick. College overview itself. Okay, so the course that you will actually be enrolling onto is the NCFE Extended Diploma in Sport. Okay, now that program is a level 3. it classes as a full-time course as well. The difference over what we have changed over the last couple of years was specifically, we used to run the BTEC. We have now, however, changed to the NCFE qualification. Now, the only difference to this is the name. Okay, so if you think about your maths and your English qualifications, okay, you may have AQA, you may have Pearson's, you may have the WJEC. Okay, the only difference between two qualifications is the NCFE. Now, the qualification that we run is worth 3 A levels A star if you come out with distinction. If you come out with merit overall, it would be worth 3 Bs A levels, and then if you come out with pass, it is worth 3 Cs A levels. In terms of what you will do on the course, okay, this is subject to change depending on funding regulations as well as the timetabling. But at the minute, in your first year, you will cover 9 hours of main aim. Now, that main aim is teaching in a classroom with myself and Bex. What we try to do is we encourage the teaching to run alongside the college. And what I mean by that is you will learn things in terms of on the sports side of things with Chris Bryce and the pro coach team, as well as then you will learn the theory behind it with myself and Bex. So a perfect example of this is technical and tactical. We will ask you to highlight your strengths and areas of improvement, which you will do as part of the coaching sessions with the coaches. They will help you in terms of breaking that down. As part of the assignment, you will then write up them skills and how it applies to you and how you compare yourself to professional athletes. In your first year, you will complete around 32 assignments, which covers 10 units. Now, rather than units, this year we have gone for the approach of projects. So the projects will interlink with each other. The only difference is it means that there is less deadlines, but there is more work at the end of it. What I mean by that is rather than having a weekly deadline, we will have mini deadlines for you to organise and work independently to get you ready for university life. That's what you choose to do. But as well as you will meet a deadline around Christmas, which will then equate to your overall grade. I will go into a lot more detail around that in terms of the personal interview, because I do understand it can be quite wordy. In the first year as well, if you fail to pass your GCSEs in maths or English, or fail to achieve a grade 4 or above, you will have to reset them with us. Now, if that is the case, you need to reset them. It's not the end of the world, okay? The GCSE pass rate from last year was 6 out of 8 for English, was it, Bex? And then 5 out of 5 for maths. Okay, so again, we do have really good conversion rates. We just have to teach it in a slightly different way. As you progress onto your second year, we start looking at tutorials and we start looking at the side of college in terms of how we can get you to progress onto your next steps. For example, that could be university, it could be an apprenticeship, it could be future employment within sport, it could be any avenue that you want, depending on what you choose to do. Now, the good thing about our qualification, we cover so many units, which is on the next slide, which I'll go over in a minute. There is a vast amount of opportunity to go down your specialised route within the industry. As well as that, you will have 4 hours of cricket per week. Okay, so it's not all classroom based with us. Some of that will be with Chris Bryce as well, and Matt Green, your coaches in the cricket centre. Again, that could be subject to change. It is something we are looking at. But again, at the minimum, you will have a minimum of 4 hours. Next slide, please, Nick. Okay, so a little bit more information about the extended diploma. So like I said before, it is equivalent to the 3 A levels. It's exactly the same qualifications as the BTEC. It is just a different name. And now, in terms of the UCAS tariff points, that is on a future slide, but at the minute, I think it was 98 to get into Leeds Beckett University, which is the equivalent to MMM. We have had students do that in the past. Likewise, we've had students go above and beyond that and get places in other universities as well. It's a perfect course to do. If you are really good at coursework, you enjoy the sport aspect, you enjoy the cricket aspect of things as well, and obviously you want to progress into HE or a career within sport. It's the route that myself and Bex did, and we're now both teachers. So again, there is that potential to be employment in the future down the line, and there's plenty of opportunities you can go down that route with. It's a 2-year program. Over the 2 years, you will cover vast amounts of units, which I'll go into more detail in a minute. There are 18 in total across 2 years, and you will have to complete work experience as part of that as well. Now, one of our big selling points for this is that it is all assignment based. What we mean by that, you'll have to collect portfolios, coursework, practical assessments, presentations. There is no exams, so you will not have to sit an exam with us unless you fail your maths and English or don't achieve that grade, grade 4. Next slide, please, Nick. Okay, so some of the units that we will cover. So over the 2 years, I'm not going to go through them individually, but as you can see, there is tons and tons of sport and aspects you can cover. Now, we will look to make sure that these cross pretty well with the cricket side of things. So, for example, this week, our second years have been doing umpiring, and they were able to umpire different games alongside the coaches and manage each other. Basically, they came back to the classroom then and then did an assessment with myself and Bex where they had to talk about how that went. And when it looks to improve things such as their confidence in speaking in front of others and making some controversial decisions as well, according to my group this afternoon. Likewise, we'll look at sports nutrition. So we'll look at what the healthy balanced diet looks like. We'll compare that to your own diet that you will have and where you can improve in terms of your cricketing performance around diet. And we can also link that to fitness training and programming. Okay, so very similar to if you're doing GCSE PE now or any type of PE, you will have to create a 6-week plan around your training. Okay, again, it can be individualized to yourself. It can incorporate fitness, we can incorporate the cricket side of things as well as match days into that and help you to prepare for that. So you'll be assessed in living your everyday life. Next slide, please, Nick. Okay, so UCAS tariff points. So as I mentioned, the NCFE Extended Diploma is worth 3 A-levels. Okay, now if you're looking to go to university and you already have got a university in mind in which you want to go to, this will help you to break down the grades that you need. So like I said before, in order to do sports coaching at Leeds Beckett last year, you need to have 96 UCAS points, which you can see from the PowerPoint, it equates to merit. Now, if you, for example, didn't want to go to that university and you wanted to go to York St John's or Sheffield Hallam, they may ask for DDM, which again will give you 128. Now, the maximum UCAS tariff points you can achieve is 168, which is the equivalent to 3 A stars at A level. Next slide, please, Nick. Okay, so obviously that is the kind of summary of what the education is all about in terms of the qualification itself. This is more to do with pathways. Now, in terms of the pathways of the college, we have been really successful in ensuring that we get 100% pass rate. At the minute, that has been throughout the whole entire existence of the college. Now, that is something we are really proud of in terms of the college itself, and it's something that we really like to sell in terms of the hard work of both the tutors, the coaches, but also the students themselves. As of last year grades, 45% of grades were either distinction or distinction star, again, which is something we were massively proud about in terms of the target grades as well. Over 60% of our students came in with a target grade, and 60% left with over their target grade. So again, people are developing them skills, them life skills, them leadership skills, but also then leaving with a qualification on top of that as well. 58% of our second years then progressed on to university. Most of them applications were sorted by Christmas. Myself and Beck are currently doing them now with our current second years. And that is something that we will do working towards the second years with yourself if you're still interested in the course. Okay, now we will help that all with you, parents and guardians. There is no need for you obviously to get involved in the UCAS process in terms of the stress of it all, because there is a lot of rumours about how stressful it is. But that is all dealt in-house myself and Bex prior to Christmas. So hopefully over that Christmas break, we can then allow universities to get some offers back in. It could be conditionals and you can enjoy a Christmas break in that sense. In terms of the first years, you will complete NCS, which will also go down as your work experience, which Nick is going to talk about in greater detail in a minute. We also like to invite in external speakers to raise awareness around career opportunities post-college, but also as part of our tutorials. So I know this year already we've had people coming in talking about gambling awareness, talking about addiction to gaming awareness, just as a start, and we are looking to get plenty more people in throughout the rest of this academic year. As I just mentioned as well, there is an opportunity to get some vital work experience in within Yorkshire Cricket, which Nick will talk about in greater detail. Timetabling. Now, again, this is just an example. At the minute, it will solely depend on court availability, group sizes and numbers and etc. But this is an example and a snapshot from this year. Now, obviously, with what's gone on across the world with COVID, we made a decision last year when the colleges shut down to continue to work on Microsoft Teams. Now, upon enrolling into the college, you will receive your own Microsoft Teams account. And this is what's something we are looking at improving and continue to use moving forward. So as you can see from the timetable, tutorial slots will be online and there will be a main AIM lesson online itself as well. Okay, this will hopefully cut down the amount of travel hours. We have found it to be pretty successful over the last 12 to 18 months. In terms of adopting the online system, it's something that we have been looking at as a company and as a college. Now, we will get feedback from that, so we can't guarantee it's going to be in place next year, but it is something we are going to look at in terms of potentially you will get that extra day at home to complete assignments, to complete necessary coursework that you may have in to make sure you hit the deadlines. In terms of the timetable itself, as you can see, you will be in 3 times a week. If you do not have to resit maths and English, you will not be in on that Friday. Okay, so again, it depends whether you've got maths and English or not, whether you come in. If you have got maths and English, unfortunately, you will be in the 3 days a week anyway. But again, depending on that Tuesday, whether it's online or not, we will let you know. Wednesdays, you will never be in college, okay, for academic. Now, you could be in for coaching, you could be in for a match day. If you're not in for either of them, you can use it as your work experience day, or you can simply use it as a day to catch up with any assignments or to get ahead of the game. Okay, so that Wednesday, we do ask you to use as a productive day. We don't see it as a day off, but it may be a day in terms of where you can communicate with myself and Bex through Teams if you need any help with an assignment, etc. Next slide, please. Then. Final bit for me is parent feedback. Okay, now the way we work is every 6 weeks we will have a individual sit down with yourselves with regards to your current progress. In that meeting, we will then set a SMART target, which you need to achieve by the end of the term. Okay, it's a way that we enjoy to track your progress, but also it allows us to see where we're developing and where we need to develop further. As well as that, we will then have 2 parents' evenings a year. Now, we'll have one of them prior to the Christmas break. Around this time of year, we completed them last week, I think it was, or the week before, for our current first years and second years. We will then look to have another one around April to make sure that parents are able to track what goes on in terms of the coursework, to make sure they're currently on track, but also to have them discussions about career opportunities and moving forward, especially as we get into the second year. The one thing which I would say, which was probably different to any other college or high school, we have pretty open lines in terms of a college. And what I mean by that, if you have any questions with regards to progress or any concerns about the course, we will give out our emails to every single one of you. So it could be the case you contact Nick if you think it's to do with the college itself, if you've got a problem with myself or Bex, or likewise, if it's just a concern to see how they're settling into the college, you will have the email of your personal tutor. Again, that personal tutor may stay the same throughout, but we will communicate key things out through once a term, just to make sure that everything is up to date. Next slide, please, Nick. The classroom. So this is something that wasn't on the video, and this is something we've just recently moved into in terms of since the half-term break. So we are very lucky now that we are now based within the Carnegie Pavilion. We have 2 amazing classrooms in there, which we have got from Leeds Beckett. They are to university standard, probably the best classrooms I've ever taught in, and probably one of the best views you'll get probably in the whole of Yorkshire. So in terms of the academic side of things, it's a perfect working environment. Again, is there a next picture on that, Nick, or is that the video?
Oh, that is
this is the video. So I'll let you watch the video in terms of the views that you'll get, obviously from the classrooms, which we'll be able to use all year round. So as you can see, the classrooms at the minute are actually set out in COVID secure ways. So it might look like similar to an exam hall that you sit in your mock exams in. Hopefully by the time that you join, it will look slightly different and we'll have a little bit more interaction and tables grouped together. But, you know, like I said, they're probably better than the classrooms you've got now. And especially with that view, it's not a bad place to sit. It's like sit and eat your lunch. As me and Bex know well. So I think that's my bit done, Nick. I'll pass it on to you.
Yeah. Thanks, John. If there are any questions around what John's just said, you can ask them now or obviously at the end as well. That's absolutely fine. We're just moving forward just around some of the costs associated with the college. It's a fully funded course, so there are no costs to attend college. The education and the training are all part of the college offer. I suppose the only areas that do incur a cost is the training kit. We've got a great deal with Grey Nichols. The kit is really good quality. Comfortably should last you the 2 years if you buy the recommended amount, which will come to just around about £220, £230. And that'll be your kit. That's your training kit. That's your college uniform. And that should, like I said, that should easily last you the 2 years. The only areas there might be a cost is that we do have kit lockers available in the cricket centre. Now, these lockers are massive. Will fit any cricket bag in, guaranteed. They're kind of a golf locker style units, so they're massive, which obviously stops you having to lug your bags to and from on public transport. And the majority of our students actually do get a locker. So £100 for the course of your time at the college. Clearly your playing equipment, and then any travel costs to and from college. And then one really exciting one is the PreSeason Tour, which is proving quite difficult this year for obvious reasons, but moving forwards, that'll be 100%, that'll be something that you'll have the opportunity to be part of. And we'll talk a bit more about the PreSeason Tour and how previous ones have looked a bit further down the line in the presentation. So I'll hand you over now to Chris, who is going to sort of talk about all things cricket at the college. Chris.
Cheers, Nick. Thanks, John. Evening, everyone. First up, obviously we've got the facilities at our disposal, which are second to none. We've just upgraded the classrooms, as you've seen, to roughly, I don't know if you can do it on your cursor, Robo, just to show where they are on there, but it's quite a spot that you've got for your classrooms. And then for your training, we'll be based in the indoor cricket school. The East Stand is currently on COVID lockdown for the professionals, the men and the women, which means that we've got free reign and full reign of the indoor cricket school. If you've ever been there, you'll know that is one of the best facilities in the county, if not the best. The head coaches, Matt Green and David Wainwright, come with a plethora of experience, both coaching and playing. David's got about 15 years county experience under his belt, and Matt Green has been coaching for about 15 years. He's also helping out with the Yorkshire first team now, so you have got access to some of the best coaches in the county. We've been lucky actually that due to COVID, the players and coaching staff haven't done as much travelling as they normally would this winter, and they've all been lending a hand with the college. So the college have benefited from sessions with Andrew Gale, the head coach, Rich Pyra, the bowling coach, Josh Poysden's been in, Harry Brooks been in, Tom Collar-Cadmore's been in. And that is a common theme and one of the big pluses of the college, in that due to the facilities being there and the first team, men and women now being there, you like passing ships in the night. So it just becomes common practice to be training next to those guys and having them in that surrounding, which I think helps the environment that you want to learn in, both on and off court. So academics and also cricket, I do think that benefits everyone and ups everyone's spirits, seeing the hierarchy of the county walking around. That's obviously playing staff as well as coaching staff and office staff. It's not uncommon to have the financial director or the chief exec or all the staff hierarchy as well in and around the college environment. So you are very much in the mix, if you like. Next slide, please, Nick. As you can see, top picture there, we focus very much on the physical side of the game as well as obviously the skill development. You'll see bottom left, that's Tom Collar-Cadmore doing his masterclass with Matt Green there delivering the video analysis. So we try and cover a holistic player point of view, where we're looking after the body, the mind, and obviously the game as well. The game that's played now in the modern day world is far too demanding for us to neglect either side of that. So we look after everything possible. As we've just mentioned there, the analysis side of things is something that some players buy into and some don't. We coach the individual. So because we've got so much time with you, we see you up to 2-3 times a week. We can break things down a lot more than we normally can on a coaching course or anything that you book on during the winter, as an example. So that's key for us. The fitness testing this time round was actually done by Yorkshire strength and conditioning coach Pete Sim, who put the guys through the test. I don't know if you've got any of those slides to hand, Rob, or they're on our social media link, I think, out there, of Pete putting the guys through the paces there. So you're getting a full first-class cricketer's experience. And with that also, that comes the demands physically. We ask for the commitment. If we've got access to these people, we're asking for you to commit to it as well. So we want to push you and see how good you actually can be. It's not a situation where you're just going to go through the motions. We do want to find the next first-class cricketer to come out of the Yorkshire Cricket College. We've had one make his debut this year on Sky Sports. Took Lancashire on a T20 night. Very proud of Wiz. And we also had the 3 girls, 2 of which are in your screen there. They all made their women's debut, first 11 debut this summer. So fantastic for those girls as well. Credit to them for all working hard, knuckling down at college. Obviously, that's not all down to the coaches. It's down to the players. we cover all formats. So we try during the season, which is when you'll play on a Wednesday, we try and cover 2-day matches, T20 matches, even T10, and obviously 50 over cricket. We try and cover everything. Once COVID's finished and we don't have to worry about bubbles and things like that anymore, we will be developing the house competition, which we hope will create a bit of internal rivalry amongst the students, and offer much more cricket than we can at the moment when we're having to just play outside schools or colleges or other teams. We've got the prestigious fixtures in there, such as the MCC and people like that. But we really want to develop this house competition. We should have started already now this winter with an indoor competition, which COVID has actually halted. We can't do that at the moment due to the bubbles. But we will get that going as soon as, hopefully, well, next September will be when we start that. Fingers crossed this virus, we've solved it by then. Low coach to player ratios is something that we're proud of. We've got, again, due to the classroom sizes and the ethos of the college, we're never going to have upward of 20 in a class, which means you're always going to have 5 or 6 to 1 coach ratio maximum. With people isolating at the moment, it's much lower than that. So the guys that are attending are getting a great experience. And as Nick said previously, that's all free of charge. We are thinking about, we are going to, not even thinking about, it's beyond that now, creating a performance squad. So at which point that will be extra hours of cricket on top of what you're already getting. So if you're one of the lucky ones to be selected in that, that'll be the next level up, if you like. So you'll have your group sessions within your classes. And then if you're selected into that performance squad 1 or 2, you'll get extra cricket per week. Probably in the winter, it will be on a Wednesday. So it'll be mean an extra trip to Headingley, but it will be more cricket training for you, more specific probably as well. Cheers, Nick. Next one. Pre-season tour, very sore point right now. We've got a lot of students who are very much looking forward to going away, having seen what the other guys got last year. So this was us in Cape Town and Potchefstroom, the middle pitches at Potchefstroom, which is one of the most high-class training facilities in the world, based about 2 hours outside of Joburg. It's a test venue. It's got some of the best nets you will ever see. And unfortunately, I don't think we'll be going this year. Obviously, to the top picture, bottom left and bottom right. Bottom right, you're up Table Mountain, and the top picture there, you're playing with the mountain line in the background. With that experience going on, you are on tour. You are growing, standing on your own 2 legs. It is an experience that I would thoroughly recommend. However, I do feel that we're about to miss out on that. But you guys, hopefully, come. When you go, which will be 2022. Let's get this right. Is that right? 2023. That will be your pre-season, 2023. So everything should be clear by then for us to put on a knockout tour and experience for you. That is an 11-day trip where people never look back. Some people come back different people, and it's nothing to do with the cricket half the time. It's the experiences. It's the other way and form of life that they see. So if you've never been to somewhere like South Africa before, it can be quite a humbling experience and actually give you, open your eyes, because I think we live quite privileged lives in the UK, even with everything that's going on at the moment. Cheers, Nick. Yeah, the highlights, it's quite a good package. As I say, we had some special moments this summer. We've had one pupil, I won't run down this list. I'll try and go off memory. We've got Max Law has signed at Leicester on the academy there. There was no room for him on the Yorkshire Academy. They had their guys in sight. So he's actually signed a deal with Leicester. So we wish him the best of luck. We had three girls there. They made their first 11 debut. Wiz made his first 11 debut for Yorkshire on Sky, I believe, twice this summer he played. We had all of the overseas players that came, during the World Cup. We got to train with those guys. We've had masterclasses with the professionals. That will be an ongoing thing that we want to expose you guys to. Without COVID, during pre-season, Yorkshire always come to us for some net bowlers and guys to go and help them train. So we select the best bowlers that we've got and the people that we can rely on to go and bowl at the likes of Adam Lyth and Gary Balance and Joe Root, Johnny Bairstow, Lauren Winfield, she likes to hit with the college. So those opportunities are all there. And again, that's extra cricket. So that's at the drop of a hat. We will literally get a phone call that says, Johnny Bairstow's been picked up in a tournament somewhere in the world. He wants some training beforehand. Can we help out? And obviously the answer is always yes. No other college is going to be able to offer that. And that is something that we pride ourselves on being able to support the county with, but also helping you guys out with that experience as well. We have, like I say, the matches against the MCC are always quite interesting. And the Yorkshire Diamonds, hopefully that will continue, but they'll be called the Northern Diamonds from here on in. And that is the professional female side, cluttered with international stars. So again, that's something that we take very seriously, and we really enjoy helping them prepare for their tournament every year. There will be many more highlights that I can't remember right now, but if anybody, Nick, if you can remember any, please jump in. But I think that about covers the cricketing side. And obviously the tour being the absolute pinnacle. Like I say, unfortunate we might miss out this time. Next one, please, Nick.
Cheers, Chris. That probably just about covers all things cricket. I think it's really important. Obviously, we have incredible success stories at the college with those that have gone on to play, for the county or men's and women's county cricket. But I think our main aim really is to make sure that everyone who comes to the college realises their potential and leaves the college a better player, fitter, stronger, more aware of the game, more technically able. And I don't think there's been an instance where someone has left not being a better player. We've seen.
Nick, sorry to jump in. Nick, there's always one thing I forget, and it always bottom right hand picture there, Cleggy. Cleggy was a student that came to the cricket college, and after 12 months, he realised that he actually, having been exposed to the college and how it works, he enjoyed the strength and conditioning side more than the actual cricket playing. So he took a lead role in that and started his work experience with the Yorkshire strength and conditioning team. He ended up on the outfield, I believe, helping them in the warm-ups for the T20s that summer. He then he's now at university doing strength and conditioning during his internship at Yorkshire. So the networking and through his work experience, he's now already got 1 foot in that camp. And as Yorkshire have proved, they grow from within. So if Matthew does a good job during his tenure at university, no doubt there could be a job in time on the strength and conditioning staff at Yorkshire through his efforts over the next 3 years. We also had 2 students go out to Cape Town, where they taught at one of the most prestigious schools in South Africa. They formed part of the PE staff at Bishop's College in Cape Town now. So they finished college with us in June. They then played the rest of their season and flew out in September. They lived out there for free. All they had to do was get there. The school provided accommodation. They became part of the school staff. They fed them, they watered them, they gave them a social life, they found them a cricket club to go and play for. But essentially, they were part of that PE staff team. One of them did such a good job that he got offered to go back. They'd pay for his flights and they'd find him some extra coaching so he could earn some money. So again, all part of the Yorkshire Cricket Network, where it's not just within Yorkshire. We are now starting to reach to have good links overseas that will be able to offer these opportunities to you guys post-college. Sorry, Nick.
No, thanks for that. No, really, really useful points. And I suppose just carrying on that network side of things, when we look at the work experience opportunities that you all will need to do, we try to provide as many opportunities within Yorkshire Cricket as we can. So you'll see from some of the pictures, Chris has already talked about Matt Clegg in the bottom right, but there's loads of opportunities to be part of major match days. So there's images there of students on the pitch during the World Cup where they were helping the grounds team out. We have students helping them out on match days, pre-match day, post-match day, to give them a flavour. The bottom left is coaching. Obviously, there's a lot of our students come into college thinking about coaching as a career option. We've got some really good opportunities for them to work with some, really experienced top coaches. Performance analysis. We've had currently a student who's now working for he's certainly worked for the Yorkshire ladies team. I believe he's involved in the Northern Diamonds, and has also helped coach some of the men's first team games as well. So I suppose one of the main goals of the college is certainly from a work experience point of view, is to make you guys aware of what's out there and what jobs are available within a professional sporting environment. You don't just have to be a player or a coach in order to be involved at Yorkshire Cricket. There's marketing, commercial, accounts, HR. I mean, you name it. There is a job at Yorkshire that they probably do it. So it's kind of our job to make sure that you're aware of what's out there for you. Particularly when you get into this sort of time in year 2, like John mentioned earlier about doing UCAS forms. We want to make sure we bring in our external speakers in, really random ones, chartered accountants, surveyors, to give you an extra idea of what is actually out there for you. Because often it's very difficult. There's such a breadth of opportunities. It's sometimes hard to know exactly what you might want to do. So we really try and help you pinpoint where you might want to go post college. So just talking about some of those speakers, we've had construction recruiters in, Leeds Beckett University come in to talk to you guys. We've had Leeds City College as well, the Chartered Insurance there, Marshall Woolridge. So lots and lots of sort of added value, I suppose, really. All of you become Yorkshire Cricket members for the 2 years while you're at college. So that enables you to come to any game you want at the stadium. That's a Yorkshire one, not the internationals. We also do the National Citizen Service, or NCS, which John mentioned earlier. Now, that's a government-funded scheme, and some of you may have already heard of it. I'm sure you've maybe potentially been approached by someone at your school to do NCS, but we do the autumn program of NCS. We try to run that very early on in your college life, which is a great opportunity to go away with your classmates and get to know each other on a week's residential, and then do some skills building activities in the second week, and then eventually a social action plan. But we see the first week as a really integral part of your college experience, going away, like I say, throwing you in the deep end a little bit, but it's a really amazing opportunity to get to know each other by doing some, trust building exercises, rock climbing, gorge scrambling, all that sort of stuff, all the outdoor outward bounds activities, and it really kickstarts your college life and hopefully hit the ground running once you get back to Headingley. So I will throw it back over to John or Bex in terms of, if you're interested, if you like what you've heard, what really are the next steps for you?
I'll do it, Bex, don't worry. So in terms of what you need to do now, step 1 and step 2, you have already done. Okay, now step 3 is where we organise an interview. Now, like Nick has previously said, we can't get you into the club like we usually would. Okay, so what will happen tomorrow, you will receive an invite from myself to a Zoom call. That will take place on the 1st of December, which I believe is a week today. And we will go through some, basically we'll go through your GCSEs and we'll go through some eligibility documents as well. And there'll be a form that you need to fill out, a checklist. Now, if you can send us that back prior to the interview, that'll be perfect, because then it will allow us to have a 15-minute chat, really informal, to obviously an opportunity for us to get to know you as a student, but also you to get to know us as teachers as well. Likewise, if there's any questions that you may think about after this video, if you rewatch it, again, it's another perfect opportunity to ask us. Once we've gone through your GCSE grades, that is when we will either offer you a conditional place on the course, and then we will be in touch with regards to some keep warm events, which we're hoping to do in the new year, obviously around COVID restrictions. So tomorrow by 5 p.m, you will all receive an interview invite for the 1st of December. If you can't attend that, by all means, email me back, and I can try and arrange something else for you. But that will be either with myself or Bex.
Cheers, John. Okay, it's pretty much, that's almost the end of the presentation. Now, we previously used to have a big quote from a parent about how beneficial their son has found the college. We got a video of graduation 2019, which again allows you to sort of hear a bit of a summing up of the college from students and also from a parent's point of view. So I'll just play that for you now.
So it's our first graduating cohort. I know some of the students are going to university, some have got careers lined up already, apprenticeships. So yeah, massively rewarding for us, and great to sort of see the impact the college has had on their lives.
I didn't actually think that I'd be able to get the qualifications that I have and the grades that I did
before even coming to college. You know, I didn't really like school to begin with, but coming to college made me have a different sort of look on education, and I've really enjoyed my time.
This kind of environment for education and for learning is fantastic. And it talks about things in the future that you would never have thought of in the past.
See the results from a student and from a parental point of view. Everybody really pleased about the achievements and the outstanding work they've done, and the opportunities they've had throughout the course of being on the programme as well. Not only working alongside the elite game at Headingley, but also opportunities over in South Africa, play cricket and gain cultural experience as well. It's just been a fantastic 2 years for the students.
Having a good respect in the classroom and made the respect on the field really good, and having got on really well. Being a good 2 years in the classroom and on the field.
And then maybe going to like a PE department in the schools and building my way up in like the ranks. Try and help younger people with cricket and also like education. I planned after this. I've got on board coaching with Pro Coach across the road.